Christian greeting from the Philippines, and we're around 12,000 kilometers apart. And of the archipelago. And see this right there. Oh, okay. All right. We just try this. Pleasant day to everyone. It's really a distinct honor to be part of your Sacred Earth Conference in Nigerian Baptist Theological Seminary. I'll be dealing today in one of your emphasis, the environmental ethics. I'll be presenting a paper, which is simply an amplification of the book that I wrote about indigenous sustainability like 3 years ago. Wait a minute. Yeah, it's this. Indigenous sustainability. That's it. And and the book also of Martin Luther's Ethics of Creation. Well, these are all, we have copies of that for ebook, and well, I have a chapter of the ethics, and I amplified it, expanded it. So here it is. Sustainability ethics and morality for the environment. There are two entities here. Sustainability and the environment are two inseparable entities. You cannot separate them. So when you deal with sustainability, you also deal with the environment. So one of the key terms of this paper is relationship. The absence of relationship will lead to the distortion of sustainability. That's the argument of this paper. It's one of the arguments of this paper. The distortion, the absence of relationship will lead to the distortion of sustainability. In turn, the distortion of sustainability will result to the unwellness or unhealthiness of humanity and the rest of creation. So sustainability ethics comes in to help mitigate this crisis. So ethics is simply to bring about a goodness to others. It's like above and beyond your interest as a moral person or as a spiritual person. You release that goodness to others. That's ethics. Ethics is not being impounded in one person. should be released like an energy. So, on the other hand, there are also three key terms here that are interrelated as well. They are interconnected, I should say. Sustainability, relationship, and spirituality. So, a caution is needed here not to deal a theme in isolation from the other themes. So we need to present sustainability among other terms in its entirety, and we need to view things apart from cognitive approach. Just like many of us postulate the dominance of Western education, you know, just like in the motherland in Africa, you know, it's we always emphasize our culture, our context. And sometimes we are dominated by Western education, and we had to bring into the public domain, bring into the academia our culture, our own education approach, educational approach, as a race, you know, as a tribe, as a people of the motherland. And there are three things here. As the basic purpose to present the ethical value of relationship as the foundation of sustainability ethics. And three, this paper argues that spirituality is the cutting edge of sustainability ethics that can work together with both Western and indigenous science, along with the ethic of the household and the virtue of frugality. Humanity nowadays had just received, you know, the term sustainability, you know, that's been popularized in 1987 by the United Nations, which had this Broadband Commission report entitled Our Common Future. And, you know, we've been educated about sustainability since then, but it remains an idea, you know, it remains as an idea. What we want here is, one of the arguments of this paper is to move forward from a concept or a theory or an idea into a way of life. Indigenous peoples and the rest of creation, who in their instinct apply sustainability in their whole day life. You know, it's their way of life, I should say. So we should know that humanity makes sustainability as simply an idea, but not a way of life. And sustainability ethics espouses this idea that sustainability badly and indispensably the way of life. And one of the drawback of fully understanding or knowing sustainability is our cognitive approach. You know, that's Western approach. It's the Western approach of education. Cognitive, mind alone. But for indigenous peoples, say holistic health, in this image, something is missing. There are 4 components of a human being. It's the soul or the spirit, the body, mind, and the missing link there is heart, to be holistic. There should be 4 components. It's like in the medicine wheel of the indigenous peoples, they always emphasize the holistic component of a human being. When you try to learn or know something, you will not only learn from the mind. You should apply also learning from the spirit, from your body, from your heart. That's holistic understanding. So in this, a reference of sustainability are the ones who apply sustainability as their way of life. Of course, the indigenous peoples, the first peoples on earth, they lived longer than us, way ahead before us. The first peoples, and even our ancestors are indigenous peoples to some extent. We have our own blood as indigenous peoples. It is their way of life. So other creatures then are teaching us. We call them sustainability teachers because it's their way of life. Okay? Now, as I said a while ago, in 1987, sustainability as a term was popularized in the United Nations, by the United Nations through the Broadland Commission report called A Common Future. I know you already have heard about this. And there's something tricky here. The definition and the term being defined confused many people. They thought the Broadland Commission report defined sustainability here. No, they defined sustainable development. Sustainability was never defined. So sustainable development simply means a development that, meets the needs of the present without compromising the ability of the future generations to meet their own needs. So you think, wow, this is a good definition of sustainability. But no, it's not sustainability, it's sustainable development. The term sustainable development and its definition are problematic for 3 reasons. One, the Broadland Commission report made development as the noun, as like it's the primary concern here. While sustainability was made as an adjective to that noun, sustainable development. So sustainability becomes secondary to the primary concern, which is development, particularly economic development. 2, the definition exhibits the absence of relationships, and ethical values. There is no such thing as ethics here or moral in the definition. So it's only anthropocentric or human-centered. Just like ethics, we always deal with ethics for humans alone. No. There is also a morality for the environment. There is a morality of other creatures. And third, the term sustainable development and its definition centered solely on physical or material development. There's no such thing as ecological development or ethical development or spiritual development. So the flow here is always the fragmented idea of understanding. So we should know that it will always boil down to our worldview or mindset. You know, uh, we can really define or know or understand sustainability because of our fragmented idea, which is cognitive approach. So our worldview is very important here because how we see the world affects how we treat that world. And that's crucial. You know, when you see the world or the natural world as merely uh, an instrument for the benefit of human being, you exploit things, you exploit nature. It's like we have the license to exploit nature. So that is really crucial. We need to understand sustainability first. And the question is, what is sustainability? You know, if you ask indigenous peoples a question, normally they will not answer you directly. They will answer you with a story. And just like Jesus Christ, you know, when Christ was asked, who is my neighbor? You know, Christ didn't answer the inquirer like your neighbor is the person next door, you know, or your neighbor is the one who is in need. No, Jesus told the story. So here we go. We have a coyote story here. Coyote, the wild dog. So it's a parable, it's a fable, you know. We should not understand it literally. So let me tell you, you know, and make it simple. I'll try my best to make it simple. So one day, Coyote was walking down the road, and delicious looking red berries. And just as he touched the berries, his mind remembered his talk with the wise old man. You know, the wise old man out there. And in one of their conversations, he recalled Coyote asking the wise old man, you know, old man, what do you think this land came from? Was it given by our ancestors? And the wise old man replied, of course not, Coyote. This land, we borrowed this land from our great, 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 great grandchildren. You know, these berries are theirs. It belongs to them. So no matter how hungry you get, you must never eat them. You know, because this will remind you that the land belongs to them and we will preserve it for them, the children yet to come. So Coyote asked, so what will happen if we will eat the berries? And the wise old man replied, sorry, Coyote, but if you eat those berries, your behind will fall off. So this was what Coyote remembered as he touched the berries, and you know, and then his sweat was running down his face, and he said, well, I have always known the old man was a fool. What does he know? You know, he's just trying to keep the berries for himself. Besides, how could I owe something to people who are not even born yet? So Coyote ate the berries, you know. He ate as fast as he could, as many as he could. So Coyote felt fine. You know, nothing unusual happened. And then he began to feel his stomach was hurt and he got diarrhea. At first, a little, and then a great stream flew. Coyote was sick. You know, the sickest he had ever been. He felt terrible. You know, he thought about the wise man, the red berries. You know, when he was so embarrassed, he hid himself in the bushes. He didn't want anyone to know that he had forgotten the children yet to come. And that's the end of the story. Now, we should grab the essence of the story. You know, first, we need to identify ourselves with the coyote. We are exactly like him. You know, we're exactly like him. Paul said, acquisitive, dominant, unteachable, irresponsible consumer, individualistic, displaying non-sustainable or unhealthy lifestyle, and above all, coyote was so detached from nature. So we think and behave like the coyote, you know. And the story depicts our overconsumption of the world's resources. You know, we overconsume things. We are warned of the first people of the land. You know, they live way ahead before us. The sustainability is their way of life. But still, you know, either think we know better than them, given our dominance. So the wise old man is being represented by indigenous peoples. You know, the indigenous peoples being represented by the wise old man. So we simply want to satisfy our greediness, our avarice, and disregarding unhealthy consequences. We always choose the gold rather than the health of all. So the story also pictures our disconnection from nature. So what we do to nature, it returns to us. We have no sense of relationship at all. No relationship to the land, relationship. Are we above or are we in the center? You know, indigenous peoples have this common belief that the nature is us. We are nature. So we are part of it. We are not above, we are not the center, we are part of it. We are the environment. So we are the land, we are the berries, we are the wise old man, we are the whole creation, and we are the children yet to come. We are the children yet to come. So we, you know, that's an understanding here. Our mind, our spirit, our heart, our bodies. We feel, you know, we sense the importance of others. The importance of the Creator, the importance of the berries, the one the Creator created, our co-humans, our co-creatures, and the children yet to come. So, this story is like a clarion call to humanity to turn sustainability from an idea into a way of life. We'll deal with this relationship. It's the epitome and foundation of sustainability ethics. As we know, sustainability ethics is uh, the bringing about the goodness to others, you know. And in bringing about goodness, that's when morality emerges in the whole creation. So everyone in nature is living in relationship. You know, everyone. So there is a phrase, a greeting, a spiritual greeting of the indigenous peoples. They say, all our relations, mitikoye iyasen, in Lakota language, or in any other indigenous language. We, all our relations, we are related. So in his book, Native Science, uh, Natural Laws of Interdependence, by Gregory Kahiri, you know, he explained the meaning of all our relations. You know, it's their spiritual ecology that they always they regard the rest of creation as their relatives. You know, so we should have a sacred bond with the rest of creation. Sacred bond. There's respect. There's reciprocity. There is relationship and responsibility. All our relations. You know, so relationship here has four aspects: our relationship with the Creator, God, above all. You know, the spiritual person has this relationship, close relationship with God or the Creator, and the relationship with co-humans and the rest of creation or nature. And never forget, we have a relationship with the children yet to come. If you are eating, if you're consuming something, or you're taking something from nature, there is a reciprocity. You're giving back, or you're replanting what you got from nature. What you get from nature, that's reciprocity. Only for, just because for the children yet to come. You know, that's very important. Now, the all our relations or the we are related phrase is a kin-centric ethic. It redefines sustainability. Because we already have to regard the rest of creation as our kin, as our relatives, as our family, you know, as our equal. So if we hurt them, we hurt ourselves. That's the essence of kin-centric ethic, presented by indigenous peoples. And this essence is the beginning of a way of life, sustainability as a way of life. So they are indeed our sustainability teachers. Spirituality. The ethical value of spirituality is very much indispensable here. Spirituality is the cutting edge of sustainability ethics. It's a new development, you know. It's not dominated by Christians alone. Spirituality is not dominated by Christians alone, even from other religions. Spirituality now, there are studies, even in secular firms or in companies or corporations, they are now realizing the importance of spirituality in order to increase quality employees or workers and quality productivity within their secular firm. Because spirituality, you know, will boost relationships. If you are in a relationship, you defend that someone you are related to. So we need relationships. We need harmony, even in our workplace. You know, so the value of spirituality is always connected with relationships. You know, it's brought now to public domain. It's not only for religion, but to public domain. They need spirituality badly. Let me ask you a question. If you are a plant grower, or you are you have planted trees, you know, flowers, plants. Do you talk to your plants? Do you talk to your trees, or do you talk to your fruit trees, or do you sing to your fruit trees? You know, look at this image. They're talking, they're singing. This is what we call the exchange of energy. When we talk, we release our energy to the plants and other creatures. That's the essence of relationship, is good communication, quality communication. It's like you are releasing carbon dioxide to other creatures. In return, they are releasing oxygen, fresh oxygen we need from plants and trees. You know, that's the exchange of energy. That is what relationship for. You know, the interconnection, the interdependence. It's such interrelationship. Well, spirituality is different from religiosity. Spirituality is what this sustainability ethics needed, not religiosity. Though religion, it can be a means to spirituality, you know, but religiosity is different, because religiosity is too much individualistic. It's not so much on relationship. It's a relationship to God, but really, spirituality is not only relationship to God. Remember, co-humans, other creatures, children yet to come. But for religiosity, it's just the doctrines stuff, doctrinal stuff. It's the denominational stuff. You know, preserving our tradition as Methodists or Baptists or Catholics or whatnot. You know, so in spirituality, our energies or our spirits starve for energies. We need relationship. And above all, we need first a close relationship to the Creator. And it will resonate that relationship to our co-humans, nature, and the children yet to come. So we got not only a crisis in the environment, we also have a crisis of the spirit. Because humanity become less and less spiritual in this sophisticated world. We need to introduce spirituality, relationships, so we can reclaim sustainability. You know? So, exchange of energy between spirits, between creatures, promotes the health of everyone. So in our health, when nature is healthy, human beings are healthy. That's it. You know, our health depends on the health of everyone. So in relationship, spirits take care for each other. So we have to realize that Western science is a huge influence to humanity and the world where we live in. As if we owe a lot from Western science, and with all these countless discoveries to make life beautiful and comfortable on earth, you know, but the legitimate question is, why such intelligence of Western science until now has failed to solve humanity's problem, like degenerating illnesses that just keep coming back? It's not actually healing. Issue like climate change, recurring killer virus, burgeoning wastes, diminishing virgin forest, endemic poverty, vanishing glaciers, polluted bodies of water, depleted organic soils, polluted air, overconsumption and overproduction of goods, natural goods. These are facts. It's Western science continues to squabble on slippery slopes. And Western science presents neither a clear nor a unified solution. So the reality is, life on earth is not beautiful or comfortable after all. So there's something missing here. That Western science, it doesn't hurt if Western science will also become spiritual and holistic. Western science is almost reductionist and, cognitive. It's be holistic and spiritual. So, Western science has to deal with their missing values here. They have no respect for the rest of creation. No reciprocity at all. And above all, the symptom is spiritual deficiency. That's why you are less and less spiritual in sophisticated society, because we become individualistic. And individualism badly needs healing. And that comes from spirituality. And sustainability ethics is a clarion call to that healing. So we're now on the ethic of the household, as being espoused by Martin Luther, ethics of creation. I choose household rather than family because the household is more comprehensive, inclusive. We have pets in the house. We have the land, the house. We have the chickens, the dog, the cat, the horse, the carabao. It's part of the household. The trees, So, what is important in the household is the upbringing of children by parental authority. We should hold on to that authority as parents. And we will produce spiritual households in the ethic of the household. And if you're a spiritual household, there is love, there is trust, concern, healthy marriage, obedient children, and we will produce well-bred citizens of society, responsible caretakers of nature. And this spiritual household resonates to the global neighborhood, both human and non-human societies. If there is love, there is care, that will be your marriage is being mismanaged, that will resonate to the world, that will resonate to your neighbors, to the community. You should take care of your marriage. You should nourish, you should nurture your marriage. Because if your marriage is broken, it will reverberate to your children. They become disobedient. They become irresponsible citizens of the neighborhood, of the global neighborhood. So that's it. If our marriage is broken, if we have disobedient children, the household is broken. That's the point where we can tell this is the cause of the degradation of the earth. So how marriage and children are treated tells us how the earth is degraded. Both Martin Luther and Chief Oren Lyons emphasize that. Lastly, let me deal with this ethical value of sustainability ethics.